what FUT Champs had to offer. Of course, he wasn't at that big grand final, but he is a superb Ultimate Team player. On the other hand, Spiderkong, what a story he's got.
Yeah, he was in Brazil. He won the Brazil visa qualification tournament. He booked his place here, and he's got everything to play for. What I like to say is about him, he's already done this before. He's already been to a tournament and won it. He knows the winning feeling. Similar to real-life clubs, Barcelona, Real Madrid, they know how to win and get over the line. And let's see if he can do it.
It'll be very interesting to see. And in the other game that we will be giving you footage from is New York City Chris. Some of you know he was in Berlin, he was in that big final, up against Nico Karp, another interesting player as well.
Yeah, two very good players in their own right. We'll have highlights of that game throughout this first round of fixtures, but I think enough talking. Let's jump straight into this game between FILTHYP and Spiderkong. As you can see, the lineup here from Filthy rolling with the 4-2-3-1. Ronaldo on the left, and I think it was Hong-Min Son potentially on the right. You can see his custom tactics here. Move down, put speed up to 76. Aggression down, George Best in at cam. Spiderkong on the other hand, 4-1-2-1-2. Pretty standard. Both
very narrow formations. What we expect at this level now in the Ultimate Team. Remember, this is an Ultimate Team tournament, but more importantly, we are underway in this one. This is round one. Remember that there's going to be plenty of matches involved. There's 8 players in each group. There's 4 respective groups. It's pretty simple. Win your games, get out of your groups. You go into tomorrow, you win a best of 2, and you're in London. But here we go. It's FILTHYP now with George Best. Intercepted. Well done. This could be a chance. Suarez, the 98 card. Tried to be clever there, but Carl Walker, the one that's just signed for Manchester City.
Yeah, Manchester City, £50 million move from Spurs over to Man City. Big transfer budget Man City have had this season, but a little bit into the game. 4-2-3-1 from Filthy, matching up against the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow of Spiderkong. It's going to be very narrow, as the formation says. It's not going to be a lot of wide play, a midfield battle.
Here we go. Could this be the first chance? There's Suarez off the post.
Early chance. Some say you've got to take your chances early. Early goals change games in tournaments such as this. It's a huge confidence boost if you can get off to a good start and open the scoring. But Suarez, 98 rated Team of the Year card, unfortunately.
Some say best finisher in the game. For me, it's Ronaldo. That 99 card, that is the go-to. That's the finisher card for me. But Suarez, superb finisher. We've seen pretty much all the regions use it.
Yeah, Suarez has been... I've got one memory from Suarez. The Bullock. 95th, 96th minute, golden goal.
Golden goal. Had to take it. Finesse outside, right foot. That one's booked your place in London, and the Bullock special is out there in full force. But
are we going to see some Bullock specials here today?
Some entertaining talent from these guys. But lots of games to get through. This is round one, and make sure you stick around because there's lots of action. We're giving you a full update from all the other games. There is the other feature game, New York City Chris up against Nico Karp. That one's just about to kick off. We're giving you full updates, all the goals, all the action from around the pit. We've got many games underway.
Yeah, there's what you need to remember is there's so many games taking place here. 32 of the best players from this American region will be competing. If you want to get involved on social media, use the hashtag FIWC Americas and tell us who you think is going to take this crown and who your favourites.
It's a difficult one. PlayStation Lucas Rep, he won that Brazil visa, but more importantly, he was in Berlin. Very good from friends with Fifa.
I'm sure qualified.
We'll be looking to travel with him to London if, fingers crossed, Lucas Rep can get there. Over on the Xbox side, you've got Estella in action, Medibob. Lots of very talented America's players.
Yeah, and you need to remember there's only going to be four players from each console going through to that final, so some people are going to have to be unfortunate, and that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes in esports, and especially in FIFA. You can only have one winner. It's not a team game, it's an individual esport, and one winner, one loser.
And for anyone that has just joined in, these guys would have been able to use any Ultimate Team player. Pretty sure you can explain it more to them, but they would have turned up from their respective countries in LA yesterday, day before. They put their teams that they want. They can use any. They're playing on a special competitive FIFA 17 that no one else can access. It's something that EA Sports obviously provide for the players.
Yeah, so there was a cut-off date. I think it was the same cut-off date as the Munich qualifiers, so I think it's the 2nd of June. Any single player up to that date is available for these players to use and at their disposal.
This could be a chance now. Went for the low driven with Pogba, but maybe a touch or two more. That could have been trouble in FILTHYP.
Bit of early nerves slipping in there from Spiderkong. If you've got to remember, they're playing on a huge stage. It's the live stream game. It's the first game of the day. The nerves are going to be there. The butterflies are going to be there.
They're not playing the comfort of their own home. Remember, these guys did qualify through FUT Champs, the 40 games every weekend, 160 a month. They may have lost 4 of them in that whole month.
Yeah, you need to be very, very consistent. I think that's the main word to qualify for these events. But Spiderkong, maybe he wasn't as consistent because he did qualify through the visa, the Brazil
Which
visa
was an
tournament.
interesting one to talk about. Mexico and Brazil both had like a visa competition. It's 32 players, 16 PlayStation, 16 Xbox. Only two, one would win from each side. 4 more players that would make into this qualification process. It kind of reminds me a little bit like Timon from Europe. He had to go to that museum qualifier in Switzerland, won that, got a chance to in the qualification process, qualified in Munich,
took it with both
and now
hands.
he's in London. But this game is 0-0. This is round 1, and this is Group 1 on the Xbox side. Group 1 Xbox action. For me, I was looking at this. I say Group 2 Xbox is very, very hard. Gistella's in there, Medibob, a number of other names is there. Roma, Aman,
Joey, Six Casade. So many good players in that group.
This could be a chance now. Suarez, I don't know what happened there. He wanted to try and swivel turn, but
yeah, I think he was looking for the first time fake shot there in behind. It's the same button combination as you do use as the cross. On Xbox it will be pressing X. So just looking for the fake shot, just rushed it there.
Here we go, Suarez, surely a chance. Tries to feed it through to Vieira, and that one's going to work. 1-0 up, you can see what it means to him, but still a very long road to go.
Yeah, 32 minutes gone and the deadlock has been broken. You see Spiderkong there looks very, very disappointed that he's conceded an early goal, and the fashion that he did concede it.
You can see the replay there. Vieira, low driven.
Not your typical goal scorer, the Arsenal legend.
And I was interested in that because he had Suarez on the edge. I was thinking take a finesse with him maybe, but didn't want to take the risk. Went for a little cheeky through ball, and it paid off for him ever so well. And it is FILTHYP that is 1-0 up in this one.
Yeah, you see straight away from the kickoff, swapped onto defensive, and he played the offside trap straight from the start. We've seen that recently in the last couple of months, players utilising the offside trap.
Could this be a chance now to equalise? Messi off the post, and unfortunately the rebound doesn't fall to any of Spiderkong's players, but both players have hit the post. Early signs, maybe more of what we haven't seen. Players taking shots from distance. We know that, a finesse from the edge of the box does work.
Yeah, maybe that's the different regions' play style. We saw in Qatar, it was a lot of long shots, finesse shots, crossing in the ball, something we rarely see in the European region. In Europe, it's very pass into the perfect position before you can take the shot. People rarely shoot from outside the box. Here we've seen early chances, end-to-end action. So
I think the best thing is, though, Rich, these guys, they're playing with 99 players, 98, 97.
The very, very best.
They can finish. They've got long distance shot. They've got unbelievable accuracy.
Shot, 99 shot power.
There's no reason why there can't be a thing. But in the other game, I believe we have got. Has that got down as a penalty in the end? There is a penalty in that other game. We will be heading over to that in a minute. And that penalty was saved
by New York City Chris. He missed the penalty. Nico Karp lower down to his right-hand post.
And that game is 0-0. That's the other featured game on the stream. We will be giving you full updates from all the other games that are happening in the pit at the moment. But here comes Spiderkong. Remember, it's 1-0 in this game. Spiderkong goes for a shot from distance, and that's Messi for you. We said about long shots.
Use the players at your disposal. You've got a 99 Messi. Take a shot from outside the box. He's more than comfortable of doing it. Takes it, brings it on his left foot, opens his body up. Finesse shot. David De Gea. No man's land.
And you can see there on the replay. Lovely, elegant finish. No chance for the keeper there.
Yeah, and you saw from Filthy's reaction, not really an angry reaction, just
nodded.
Acceptance. Okay, I need to close that down. I can't allow somebody of Messi's quality to have that sort of space around my box.
Because Messi is always, I'll probably say, about 80% of players' teams. Is that a fair analogy?
Yeah.
For me, I'm not a fan. I feel like sometimes a little bit too weak.
Yeah, but too weak.
He's got quality that you can't miss out on. You cannot, you can't say, right, I'm not going to use him, because his quality is unbelievable.
Yeah, he does possess the quality, you can see there.
Can he do it again there? Ronaldo's going to get a little bit fortunate there, and that's just going to fall back to De Gea.
Few players might use George Best in that right wing position, given it's all about really their personal preference, what they want to use. You see 1-1 at half time in this game, FILTHYP and Spiderkong. This is action from Group 1 of the Xbox side of proceedings.
And 1-1 is the score there. Interesting first half. Both players did have chances, hit the post. Retrospectively, they both had their chances. We said about long shots. Messi gave us a long shot.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll see a lot more of that as the time goes on.
It was one half of football almost split into half. The first 20 minutes, Filthy seemed to dominate. He had a couple of early chances. Suarez hit the post. But then that second half, building up to the goal, and then it capitalised in the goal for Spiderkong, got himself back into the game, and second half, everything to play for, 1 goal each.
But, okay, there's a long road. 7
Very
games.
long.
It's an 8-game group. You play 7 games each. Is it a case of you have to start well, or can you lose your first game and be like, okay, maybe I can get into it game 3, game 4?
Well, it's very hard to relate back to previous qualifiers, because in Munich, 4 players out of the group went through, and in that tournament we saw top of the group lose to 4th in the group a lot of times. Kirk springs to mind, losing out to Maestro 5-1 in the semi-final. XL Stacks, I think he finished 3rd in the group, and he went through to
because all those players
are in London.
A very good level. It's the same here. All these players are here. All 32 players are here for a reason, because they are the best from their region. And it's pretty frank. It's pretty frank.
Anybody can beat anybody in this sort of format, and over the course of the 7 games, we're going to see 4 players from each group progress through. But I'm just looking forward to seeing the second half kick off.
In the other game that is on stage over on the PlayStation side, that is 0-0 at the moment between New York City, Chris. A penalty.
Yeah. We see it time and time again, though. Penalties aren't a strong point for these players. It's something that they don't tend to practice. So
what's going on in the other games in the pit? Let's head over to Jump to see what's going down.
Hey guys, what's up? As we were talking about, there's lots of action going throughout the pitch throughout the entirety of the day. Now, as you can see, we've got Group C going over right here, and 2 of the 3 matches are actually tied up 1-1. And so with this already being the first round and seeing something this close, it's certainly something that we're going to want to keep our eyes on throughout the rest of the setup. So I'm going to throw it back to you guys so you can get it right back in the action.
Thank you very much, Jump. And as you just saw there from the pitch, there's many other games going on at the moment. We'll have the full scores for them very shortly for you. But again, we talked about it before. You don't need to worry as such. You know, this is only the first half of the action. Some players need a warm-up. Some players need a bit of time just to get into the esports environment. But this is at a LAN event. You've travelled to LA.
I think as well, it's 7 games. Maybe if you lose your first game, you're probably looking for a magic 12 points. 12 points should be putting you through as we jump into the action here. But it's all about keeping consistent. If it's 3 draws and 2 wins, that gets you, quick maths, 9 points. That could do you enough. It's all about, in tournament football, not losing in the group stage.
And here we go. Could this be a chance now for Spiderkong? Oh, it's beautiful. And there's Messi there, runs away. I always say about this, if it's a perfect time to score a goal, it's on the start of that second half. The confidence it gives you.
Just coming out of half-time. What I'm going to be looking at now, Filthy took the lead in this game. He's now thrown away the lead. Patrick Vieira cutting the ball back to Messi. Very quite simple there.
I think it's the usual goal you used to score at the weekend on the weekend league, isn't it? Either a low driven across the box or just a cutback.
You run down the line, easy pass back. Filthy 2-1 down, and Patrick Vieira has been involved in quite an attacking sense in both of these teams.
Legends are in full swing on the Xbox side, and the legends we usually see: Patrick Vieira, Rio Ferdinand,
Hullet, maybe a George Best here and there. Blanc, maybe a Desai, or maybe a Petit, they're the 7, or Pele. We see
as a sub more,
frequently.
would you say, in a centre midfield position. But this game is 2-1 to Spiderkong. He's changed it round on his head, the man that qualified in the end from that Brazil visa. But he's going to look for another one, maybe a cheeky chip there. And
very,
free kick
very
or just
unfortunate.
offside?
He's pulled it back down. He's pulled it back for a free kick there. It could have been in. Could Spiderkong with Ronaldo, but referee pulled it back. And just like real life football, sometimes the referee can either be against you or for you.
And here we are in this one. Remember, this is only round 1 of fixtures. Many games to get to the way still, and there's Ronaldo off the bar for Spiderkong. This attack isn't over yet. Suarez is going to recycle to Messi. He may just be onside. Yes, he is, and that will go out for a goal kick in the end.
What a second half this has been for Spiderkong.
He's come alive. Maybe he's changed. Maybe he's a change of formation. He's gone into the custom tactics to build up plays a little bit faster. The aggression's there.
Yeah, because it's only the first game as well, we're not going to see drastic changes. If it goes down to goal difference after the 7 games, which it very well might do, you can't be losing games 3-4-1 in this group stage. If you're going to lose, make it a short goal margin. Ronaldo picks up the ball here for Filthy, trying to find his way back into the game.
He just gets pushed off the ball there. We'll
Fantastic
go for a goal
effective from Azpilicueta, that 91 team of the season. Azpilicueta, who spoke to Dean Coombs earlier on in the day, one of top 100 player week in, week out, and he says Azpilicueta, one of the best cards on the game.
Well, everyone has their own style. We always talk about this time and time again, and Suarez comes now, and so we'll just parry that one around the corner, but we'll talk about it after this corner comes in. Here comes Messi. That one goes to the front post for Ronaldo, the flick on, and
side netting.
That will go for a goal kick, but everyone has their own style in Ultimate Team. It's built your favourite team. That's pretty much the aim of Ultimate Team. Build your dream team. Some players like the BPL links. They like playing, you know, maybe not a Chris Smalling, maybe a Martial, but Martial could be in there, but more at the back. I'm saying David Luiz, CDM. Occasionally we see that one with Azpilicueta linking in there. Thibaut Courtois now and then. Yeah,
you see David De Gea. You'll probably see Antonio Valencia or Kyle Walker, the team of the season variants at right back. It's a very small pool of players that you are going to use, and when we see a player come out of that, that's where it starts getting interesting. It wasn't in Qatar. We saw Infamous Shadow use Italy on head-to-head. Everybody else were using Belgium, Brazil, Portugal. He came out with Italy, got all the way to the final, and unfortunately
the Italian
lost.
Stallion, as someone came to me on Twitter and said, he's not the Italian Stallion. There was another guy that has been trying to take that name around, but you know, he has been dominating the Italian scene at the moment, Principe, and he will be in London for that grand final. Here we go, though. 2-1 the score for Spiderkong at the moment, and he's looking to maybe build on that lead. Remember, the other game that is underway is New York City, Chris. That's 0-0 up against Nico Karp. A penalty was saved. A first-half penalty was saved from Nico Karp. Chris had the chance to go in front, but he did miss that one.
Quite a poor penalty as well from Chris. Just something that the pros probably don't tend to use. They're probably in weekend league, get the game wrapped up, and they don't have to go to a penalty shootout like a lot of us regular, in quotation marks, players tend to do, and who aren't competing top 100. We probably get a bit more experience in penalties. That might be the only thing that we're better at on FIFA.
I think that's the way that sometimes when the pro players can't feel like they can win a game, they lose in penalties, and penalties are just penalties this year. Luck of the draw sometimes, and it doesn't always go the way you want it to, but we are here at the FIFA Interactive World Cup Americas regional final here in Los Angeles, and it's group stages today. Then we will find out who will be taking places 23 to 30 in that grand final. The 8 places up for grabs, and then obviously 2 more available in that Club World Cup that will be taking place very shortly as well.
Yeah, a couple of huge competitions coming down the line. Could have a chance here for Filthy.
Patrick Vieira involved again there. He's in a very attacking position.
Max Alonso there stepping out, the 6'2" Chelsea team of the season left back. What a season he's had for Chelsea.
And he's part of that back line. You know, we said about the Azpilicuetas in there. David Luiz, some players like to use him in that CDM role, or a CDM card, sorry. Again, the SBC. Alonso is in there. He is in there. He's a favourite.
Yeah, and also he gets the very strong link to Kante as well. What a card he's had. I'm sure we're going to see him use time and time again.
The 92
over the next couple of days.
The PFA Player of the Year, and you know, one of the things that I most love is the way that he's so similar to how he's in real life in the game. You know, credit to EA Sports for that.
It's the in-game stats, the stats behind the card.
He's just so energetic. He can get forward. He can get chances, and that will be Suarez just flicks that one out for a corner again. Pull it now short to Messi. Messi's looking for a hat-trick. Remember, he's already scored 2 goals for Spiderkong, and here comes Hull into Messi. Lovely interchange, and that will be Marcelo to just get rid of the ball. But with just 7 in-game minutes left, maybe a minute max for Filthy Peter.
Find a way
grab himself a point, get a goal, and maybe grab himself a point, but it's going to be worse. Spiderkong, here we go. Suarez, one more surely, goes with Messi, and they will parry that one round.
Huge save there, keeping Spiderkong, keeping Filthy in the game. Because if it goes to 3-1, you've got to say game over. This could be a huge point if Filthy can get a point in this game, given the context of the groups, that 4 people will drop out.
Here comes Azpilicueta there, trying to feed that one through to Ronaldo at the back post. Suarez in a very defensive position now. Not sure what he's doing that far back. Maybe he came back to help with the corner. But here's a counter-attack now. Vieira looks like he's the only man forward at the moment. I'm not sure what's going on there.
Yeah, you just saw in the stats there. He just switched on to ultra-attacking. The shots player to player. Spiderkong with Lionel Messi had 5 shots. Luis Suarez for Filthy had 1 shot. That shows the dominant performance Spiderkong has had, especially in the second half, where he's really took it to Filthy. And
really upped his game because he has to. You know, this is a LAN event now. This is, you know, not playing the comfort of your own home. This is literally play your A game or you're going home. Play a good game, you might be going to London.
And I talked about it before the game. He's already got that winning mentality.
Oh, here we go. Could this be 3-1? Ronaldo tried to feed it through, and that was like a 2 slide tackle efforts there. 2 minutes or 3 minutes of added time to come.
He's already got the winning mentality from the Brazilian qualifier that he had to win to get to this tournament. So he could be an unsung hero and a very underdog favourite in this tournament.
And there we have the full-time whistle in the end. You can see what it means from a big 2-1 win. Yes, it's early stages, but an important win nevertheless.
Yeah, very, very big 3 points for Spiderkong in this game. And the other game that was on the stream ended in 0-0. The only real chance of the game was New York City taking the penalty, and Nico Cap got down well to his right-hand side and tipped it round the post.
And if you're FILTHYP right now, you're feeling a little bit hard done by. You were 1-0 up at the beginning of the game, and it did slip out your hands, but I said if there was a perfect time to score, it was on the stroke of that second half beginning, and it was huge for him.
And how many times do we see one goal go in and a game completely change?
The complexion.
Yeah, I get reminiscent back to the XL Stacks. We spoke about him a little bit earlier. It was 2-0 down, scored just on the stroke of half-time in the final. He went on to win the game 3-2. We spoke to him after the game. We said, what would the change? What would the mental change? He said, as soon as I scored that first goal to make it 2-1, I knew that I was going to win that game. I just felt something in me. I felt the psychological side of the game.
The mental side. I don't think enough people that are watching home realise that these guys are under immense pressure. The ones that play for esports teams, football clubs, you know, they've got to put in a performance. If they don't, these contracts aren't being re-signed. You know, they're not going to be representing them anymore. They're going to find new talent because you're not always going to get the chances. Yeah,
let's have a look at the key highlights of the game. It was that first goal, and talk me through this, Brandon. Patrick Vieira getting up there.
Patrick Vieira, of anyone. I think I was expecting Suarez to finish it, but in the end it was Vieira just round the side, and that made it 1-0 to Filthy. And then it was kind of the show of Spiderkong after that one. He came up with an unbelievable finish. I'm sure we'll get to see that one again. And
yeah, he went 1-0 up, and maybe as fans or as neutrals, we thought that was going to be a big change in the game, but Spiderkong 2-1.
And I think Bill will be catching up with him now. Let's head over to him for the latest.
Thanks a lot, guys. I'm joined here with Spiderkong. Our first match just concluded, and he did take away that 2-1 victory. Now, I have to ask you, how does it feel to go ahead and just win the first match of the day?
Como que você se sentiu ganhando o primeiro jogo do dia?
Acho que a coisa mais importante num campeonato desse é ganhar o primeiro jogo. Te dá confiança e isso é muito importante para o resto da competição. E então foi muito importante mesmo.
This was very important to him because winning the first match of the day gives you confidence, gives you a boost so you can go ahead in the competition. That was very important.
Now, a great thing about that match was you actually scored right after the first half. What was it like being able to give yourself that lead so early on, right before the second half?
Dos momentos chaves foi que você marcou logo depois no comecinho do segundo tempo. Como você sentiu aquilo? Quão importante foi para você?
Acho que fazer um gol imediato, além da confiança, dá uma tranquilidade maior para o resto do jogo. Então, fazer o gol logo no início te dá mais tranquilidade para fazer o teu jogo. É como falam, tipo, é muito importante, muito importante.
Scoring right away in the second half gives you tranquility so you can put your game forward and not be reactive. So it gives you a lot of tranquility. You can play your game. It was great for him.
Fantastic. Now, there's a lot of matches left to be played. It's very endurance-heavy in this setup. What are you doing to prepare yourself mentally for the grind coming for the rest of the day?
Hoje são muitos jogos, é uma bateria de jogos. Como é que você se prepara mentalmente para aturar tudo isso, para sobreviver a essa bateria de jogos?
Tem que pensar que todo jogo é uma final, todo jogo tem a mesma importância. É isso que é necessário. Tem que manter a tranquilidade de todos os jogos e a calma e paciência também.
You have to think that every game is a final. You play every game like it's your last. So you have to keep tranquil, you have to keep calm, and you have to take every game very seriously. That's the key.
Spiderkong definitely looking to be the top of the mountain. Determination is strong indeed, but we've got lots of matches left to play, so we're going to kick it over to the guys at the desk.
Thank you very much, Jump. And as you saw, he pretty much summed it up. Every game is a final at this level.
Yeah, very wise words from such a young man, Spiderkong. He's got a very level head on his shoulders, and something that maybe a few players have got a little bit lacking in the FIFA scene. So I want to see how he progresses through this tournament, and big 3 points to kick off his campaign here at the FIWC American qualifiers.
And of course,